Yeah, son. Hey, y'all, it is October the 28th, y'all. And I like to congratulate you for making it this far. You should be proud of yourself. I all sort of chaos, tomfoolery already, but you're still here. You're a soldier. You're a warrior. And I need you on my team. All right, I'm building it on the internet. Y'all, I think the first thing that I want to start off with tonight is a little bit of the obvious. It's just becoming obvious to me, and I just want to talk about it. And the first thing that I want to mention is that quite clearly, it's quite clear to me now, I am not motivated, not a motivated individual. Sometimes you get stuff to motivate you, or you gotta maintain your motivation in order to get things done or whatever in the world, on Earth, in your life. And I like doing things. I gotta say, I like doing all sort of these things that I like to do that I like. I enjoy them. But I'm just not motivated to do any of them, to include streaming. I got a person in the building. I'm just not motivated, I noticed, to include streaming. Right? But I like to do it sometimes. So I do it. But I don't really keep it up because I don't know about y'all. I mean, you probably have noticed. It's like, dude, I don't even have a regular time that I come on or anything like that. I don't give you no damn heads up or nothing like that. And sometimes it's sparse. Sometimes probably don't hear from me for a week. So I'll be like doing whatever on X in the spaces. And then I'll get bored of that and I'll stop doing that. And it's not necessarily that I get bored, it's that I get unbored, I think you will. Like I get excited about stuff, and sometimes it's random or it seems random. It's an eclectic mix of stuff. Get your boy all excited. Get your boy all hot and bothered. Gets him all hot and bothered. Speaking of which, I just wanted to get that out of the way. The non-motivation type thing. It's like, dude, I know full well there's people, out there that you could listen to, give you good advice, give you pointers, show you the way. If you want to like get more well known, and of course get more well known, of course it's going to come with some money, maybe if you're smart. And so that's kind of why a lot of people do it, or at least they do want to pay for their life and their livelihoods, while also being very motivated to do this and that. I don't got that. But also, I will mention, and it somewhat is like related, it's a related topic somewhat, and get it out of the way because actually, the title of this live stream, it says something about somebody Diddy Buddy in my ear, Diddy Buddy in it, Diddy Buddy in it. Probably never heard of that before. I just kind of made it up, but it really just kind of happened. And now, the problem with Sean Combs, the ongoing saga, may he be safe and sound. And I wish him only the best, this Sean Combs fella. He's in jail. The problem with this, the problem I've been having lately when it comes to Sean Combs is that I always hear these wild things. I be hearing these wild things. Sometimes you see them before you hear about them, and you're like, "Oh my god, that's wild." And sometimes you hear about it, and you're like, "Ah, that sounds wild." But then later on, you might see it or hear about it somewhere else. It just seems as though like I keep hearing this stuff, and as wild as it is, part of me wants to be open minded in that it could be fake or made up, or it could be like some AI or something, a hoax. But I keep hearing about these things, and every time I hear about these wild things, they're never truly debunked. Like the thousand baby oils or lubricants. It's never really been debunked. In fact, the lawyer kind of like shrugged it off or something. I hear something like 700 some odd dilly nillies, if you know what I'm saying, up in the house. I heard that. I said, I know that can't be true. Because if any house contained that number of dilly nillies, that house would be thoroughly haunted. You wouldn't be able to sleep in that house. And maybe nobody did. Maybe nobody ever did go to sleep in that house haunted by 700 some odd dilly nillies. Everything that's coming out, unfortunately, things more and more true as time goes on. So I heard something, and mind you, I'm not really staying glued to it. Not really married to this particular topic, but of course, everybody talking about it from time to time. This is how everybody can relate to each other in the world. We talk about it. We talk about Sean Combs to each other and the wild nastiness. Now, something I saw today, came across today. It traumatized me. I gotta admit, it did. And I was actually thinking about it because I saw it on a break at work. I believe it was my lunch break, and I didn't see it actually. I heard it. I don't know if you already know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, I'll warn you just like I warned a few of the fellas at work, or the people. I'm pretty sure just fellas. I warned them, but I'll give y'all a little bit more detail. I just told them, hey, you come across this. What it is leaked audio, and you can find it. You can even find it on YouTube or wherever, social media. If you're crafty enough, leaked audio of Diddy, they call him. They call him Diddy. And a man by the name of Bad Bunny. Now, if you already know about this, you're already traumatized and you need to seek therapy. Okay, or you should. If not, then you're a much tougher fella than myself. Because at lunch I heard this leaked audio, and you can find it wherever. I'm not gonna play it. I was traumatized by it. I hope to never hear it again. Whatever was going on, and you know what I'm talking about. You already have some idea from the implications. What kind of leaked audio? If you ever heard of it, I wondered if the person who's up in the building, if they ever heard of this. But if you haven't heard of it, the leaked audio, I recommend it to a few friends already. If you come across it, don't listen to it. Please don't listen to it. Like, do what you can to avoid it. Because I know curiosity might get your goat. All right. Might kill your cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the dog. Eat the cat. So it might do it, but don't do it. All right, because you might get traumatized like myself. It might just be spiraling around your head for the rest of your work day. Thinking to yourself, I mean, it's not like, oh, we got Bart Fine up in the building. Bart Fine. I don't know if you're able to communicate this, but what I want to know is if you have or have not heard the leaked audio that allegedly, first of all, it's alleged, all right? It's audio. I don't even know what Bad Bunny sounds like, to be honest with you. But it was a leaked audio and they were doing some tomfoolery. And you could tell who was the boss and who was the secretary in that scene. You really could, even by just the audio. I'm telling you, traumatized. I'm telling you, don't be curious about it. But just so that you know, you could tell who's the daddy and who's the mommy up in this scenario. And obviously, you would have probably guessed. But see, this alleged Sean Combs on the audio, he's being ruthless, all right? No, I didn't hear. Okay, Bart, fine. I'm letting you know. Please don't. Please don't hear it, especially not right now, because you might be going to sleep soon. It's not what you want fresh in your head, all right? Bad Bunny was crying, and I mean, he was crying, and it's hard to even tell, but they did not sound like tears of joy. I got to be honest with you, it didn't. It didn't sound that way, but it's kind of hard to tell. It was very frantic in that alleged room on the recording, and I was traumatized by it. It was real bad. But real briefly, and I know nothing about Bad Bunny. I'm one of the top know nothings about Bad Bunny in the whole world. All right, but here's what I do know. And I mean, dude, it's all coming together like a puzzle with these perverts. All right. Here's what I do know. Bad Bunny was some guy. I couldn't care less. And then he becomes like one of the most top selling artists in the world, right? Sometimes beating out Drake, for example, because he's capturing the English audience, he's capturing the Spanish speaking audience. Shout out to my man Takashi 69. That's how you make money, a lot of money. Two different languages. But Bad Bunny was doing the same thing as Bad Bunny went straight to the tippy top. I don't even know if Takashi. I don't know if he's at the tippy top. He's just high up there, and he does his own thing. But Bad Bunny sure did shoot his way up. Maybe shoot is a bad word, but shoot his way up to the tippy top from out of nowhere. Oh, isn't it very typical? Oh, you can find him on video hanging out with Sean Diddy Combs before, and you can even look it up. They're on video together before he blew up into like the number one superstar of the whole world. Oh, it just so happened he had to have a meeting with your boy. Yeah, boy, the Ushkash Muash, the Ushkash Muaf, the Smoosh Smash. Yeah, yeah. So it was like that, and that's what it sounded like. Traumatized the shit out of me. And although it's not really a good excuse, it's like, man, it just makes me feel even more better about not being motivated. Because these guys over here are motivated as hell, dude. They're so motivated that they get themselves caught in a whirlwind. That whirlwind is filled to the brim full of stretched out behinds, all right? Is that what that's not what they dreamed of as children, is it? I gotta hope it isn't. Right? But yeah, the thing is enjoying myself and my life. And I mean, nothing around me resembles what these people do. It's ridiculous. And I'm happy about that. Sometimes I like to come on and stream. Can't even explain it. Can't even explain why. Am I motivated? No, I'm not. Not at all. Do I want to be well known? No, Bad Bunny wants to be well known. He wants to be so well known. He's willing to do some things that, of course, I would never do. And he's willing to go through all sort of tears and blood to get there. Traumatizing. But, you know, still keeping my eyes on certain cases and my focus. There's a lot of crazy, wild stuff going down. I think you know that. I almost don't even need to mention, right? There's this election coming up. By the way, check out my new hat. Yeah, what y'all know about that? Um, Election coming up. And it's wild. Not only the election, it's gonna be wild shenanigans. It blows my mind. Before we get off the topic, it freaking blows my mind that any person on earth with a half of a freaking brain expects that we're gonna know who's the president on November the 5th, even by midnight. Not even close, dude. Is going to if they have an election, which still I'm not convinced they will, but if they do, I mean, I know they've been doing early voting and stuff like that, but if they have one, a week at the minimum, I'm putting it down. I'll put money down. I don't know who wants that action, but I'll put money down, dude. It's gonna take at least a week of their damn tomfoolery. Bar Five says, "No, I am traumatized hearing about the stretched out behinds, dude." Yeah, I mean, just even me talking about it is kind of traumatizing, ain't it? To actually hear it, like his freaking Brokeback Mountain, and you're closing your eyes to actually hear that sort of stuff. But it wasn't as gentle and loving as Brokeback Mountain, I'll tell you that. Mm, mm, Diddy gave me that smoosh smash. I love it, Joe. All right. Keeping my eyes on certain things. Okay, so the election, see, that's the thing about it. Real briefly, and I've already said this, but I just want to keep saying it. I don't think they're going to have an election, but whatever. Let's say they do have an election. They're going to cheat and cheat and cheat and cheat. We already know they've been cheating. They've already been caught cheating. All right. They're going to keep going. You know, it's very interesting. I'll see how it plays out. They're cheating. And everybody knows it. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. I'm not saying who's they, but I think you know who's they. They're cheating like crazy. Now, they perhaps could cheat so much that it would make Kamala win. All right, but just by the laws of this world, they would have to be cheating quite a whole bunch. All right, they would have to cheat more than they cheated last time, hypothetically, if they cheated, and I think we all know that they did. So what's interesting is that it's going to be way over the top type cheating in more ways than we can imagine today. And they're going to get caught just like they got caught last time. And just like last time, they're gonna get caught, you know, like a cat with the canary in its mouth gets caught. We say, "Hey, look, we caught you, and this is how, and this is why." And they're like, "You don't have no evidence of that, and you're a fucking Nazi, alright?" So and that's what they did the last time. So they could very well do it this time, right? But let's say they didn't. Let's say it's too big because it's so damn big. The landslide is actually very big. That I can reassure you. But what if it's so big, too big to rig, as they say? What if? That's a possibility. I believe Alex Jones has also put that out there as a possibility, but bet your bottom dollar. That's the thing about it. Everybody's out there voting hard for Trump. That's because he's been showing you the world like you ain't never seen it before. And I totally agree. Everything that's happening is freaking amazing. I've been watching the rallies almost every day and stuff just because it's wow. I and the other day it was super duper wild. I forget where they were at a big one. Had Elon there and everybody else, dude. Everybody was coming out. RFK was coming out. Dr. Phil was coming out. Melania was coming out. Eric Trump was coming out. Don Jr. and the list goes on and on. It's just kept being more and more people. Wild stuff. I mean, you got RFK. He'll be walking out on the stage and they'll be bumping like Kid Rock, Rebel Without a Cause for no damn reason in the back. So wild it is. You ever told me that this is going to be a political thing? You ever like when I was at any age of my life and said this is going to happen? This is a political thing right here that you're watching. I would have said no way. There's no way of that. All this wild stuff. But yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. And I gotta know that there are some dumb people out there. I gotta know that there are some lazy people out there. I'm pretty dumb. I'm pretty damn lazy and stuff. I've been made soft by the chemicals. Right? The chemicals made your boy soft. So, in a sense, I know what it's like, but that's really the thing. What I gotta stress is that it's after November the 5th, and however long it takes to do their tomfoolery, so after that, even if you got your boy Donald, which everybody wants, even if you got that, they're going to rock your world. They just cannot wait until you make that decision. If that's their plan D. That's not like their first. They would rather not have Donald Trump up in there. But if you're gonna make it too big to rig, if it's really gonna be like that, then they got other means and stuff, and they'll really try some other stuff. Thing is, you gotta. I don't know. I'm gonna guess right now. Seems pretty simple to me. They're gonna try their other stuff. It's gonna cause chaos. They are gonna get caught. It's not gonna work out for them. But it's where do they gotta go? They're not gonna let Donald Trump just like be the president unencumbered. And yeah, they meant business last time, but it's just my prediction. And I'm predicting for myself because I'm in the same boat. I am predicting that if we got a Donald Trump, first of all sort of tomfoolery for sure going to happen. Crime and all this criminality, it's going to pop off, riots and such. But we're definitely going to have to hypothetically work harder than ever before. You know how you've been working during your life and sometimes you've been working real hard? It's like you're going to have to work harder and me too, than I ever worked ever before in order for any of this to even just survive. That's how it's going to be. I know full well I'm going to look back to moments like right now, and I'm gonna think to myself, "Oh shit, I was a lazy, dirty bum." and I could just go on living, and that was as easy as I would just keep living. Now it's much harder. I know it's gonna be. Firefly says, by the way, my behind is one way out. It's only one way out of Firefly's behind, and I hope that you don't have to find that out the hard way. Or I guess you already found it out, but I hope you don't have to never experience that. All right. Shout out to Firefly. I'll have you know that my man eats out the garbage, and I'll have you know that some people might not like that, but I love it. All right. I mean, if you chose not to eat out of the garbage, I would still love it. But he eats out of the garbage. What would some people think about that? What would somebody think about that? To know that I'm over here, I encourage my friend to eat out the garbage. So much so, I'll pay him to eat out the garbage. I'll pay him to do it. Some people might look at me crazy. They just don't realize it's regular ass food in the garbage. It's not even gone bad, and it's for free. That makes sense to me. I but the chemicals, and we're gonna have to deal with that later. That's the thing about it. See, right now, get this, and I appreciate this. You're eating out the garbage. You're getting some money in your pocket. Hell yeah! I don't think it's gonna be just that easy pretty soon. In fact, I think a lot of people might have to be scrounging around in the garbage. You might have to fight these people over garbage food. And inside they'll be fighting each other for that garbage food. And it's terrible. It's terrible. But it's necessary. You know, the other day, I forget where it was. It might have been Detroit. I don't remember where it was. Donald Trump, he came out to a roaring crowd like he always does. And he came out to the Undertaker's theme music. Did you catch that? I even had a black, all dark MAGA hat. He was dark MAGA coming out to the Undertaker theme song. I mean, that's wild. Tell me that you ever expected to see this in your whole life. Never. It's beyond your wildest dreams. I think we're dreaming right now. Right? Some weird twisted dream, and either I'm dreaming you or you're dreaming me. How we dream each other at the same time. Tell me that. All right, hardest you ever worked. I mean, I hope that I mean for the all the oil drillers out there, it's like God. I hope you don't have to work harder, but you're gonna have to work harder. I'm sure of it. And actually, I do want to talk about a couple of things probably before we get out of here. But before I do, I want to mention some great ideas. I'm hearing great ideas. I'm hearing ideas that I never ever thought I would hear before. And the list goes on. I couldn't even name you all the ideas, but the no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, the no tax on Social Security, and this and that, death tax, and all this. Relieving the corporate taxes so that they come back here and fucking give us jobs instead of having jobs way over there for fucking dirt poor ass employees. But so we get this stuff on the money that we can barely get in our pockets from some damn dirty slaves over there. When we should be making it over here. Gotta drop the taxes. Everybody knows this. And I've even heard a couple of different people, I think Elon included, talking about, dude, it's about tariffs. And you might say, oh, that's too easy. Oh, you're being naive. Oh, it's too easy. No, I don't think it is too easy, or it might be we need to put on tariffs. And that's what you got Donald Trump out there talking about and stuff. And Elon was like, dude, yeah, you got income tax and we got the income tax. They got you with the income tax many, many a year ago. And they said, oh, they tricked you into the income tax. And then after they tricked you into the income tax, don't you know the debt keeps going up forever and ever and just faster and faster? You know, it's like it's not working, obviously. And they keep saying tariffs and all. I don't know about y'all, but I love the word tariffs. I love that. That means fuck off, dude. It means I don't it's like you're in another country, you need to fuck off. We're gonna do our own thing and pay each other money so that we just get rich. All right. Because we're the shit in a certain kind of way. And I do believe that's still true in America. We are the shit. Everybody knows it. However, eh, a lot of things, however, a lot of things, we lost the moral high ground. That'd probably be the biggest thing. We lost it. And in order to get it back, we have to try harder than we ever tried in our whole life. That's the thing. You cannot vote Donald Trump or whatever you're gonna vote. You cannot vote Donald Trump and think that your life's gonna get easier and that's just all there is to it, or that you're gonna get more money. You're gonna have to work harder than you ever thought about working before. I'm pretty sure of it. Because there's gonna have to be a rebuilding process. Meanwhile, hypothetically, and I don't even think this is a very good possibility that they let him in. Um, they're gonna hit you with all sort of shenanigans at the same time. You're gonna have to deal with it at the same time. Keeping your nose to the grindstone in order to make it work, right? Because currently we do exist off a whole bunch of different countries' bullshit that they send us through the boats and we buy them. And we don't hardly put a tariff on them because we want to be so nice and stuff. We're like, please, please give us your slave goods. We want to be so nice to you. All right. We don't hit them off with tariffs. And therefore, we don't have no jobs because, of course, they're doing the job. All right. So, freaking great ideas, dude. I've heard politicians before. Their ideas are always I don't know if I say terrible. It's mundane and it's never y'all fucking do shit. I ain't never heard of these kind of things. I ain't never heard of these kind, especially about taxes and tariffs. And on the other end, dude, I gotta mention it. That what's in our food is literally killing us. It is full of poison and we're dying. And I don't mean this hyperbolically. We're getting killed. It's like we don't need to be killed. In fact, we know exactly how to not be killing each other with our food. And we should just stop doing it. And we're fucking still doing it. And we need to stop. It's like, I never heard a politician say, they're fucking killing you with the food. And we need to stop them from killing you or else you're going to die. And before you're going to die, you're going to be all soft and you're going to be all, you know what I'm saying, compromised by the chemicals. Gonna give you breast cancer, gonna give your wife breast cancer. Y'all gonna get cancer, all right? Because we're killing you. I do believe that that's an actual thing. I believe somewhat in how somehow, some way in this process, of course, it might be harder to come by food. It's gonna be hard, struggle, all right? The dumpsters might even be picked clean. I hate to say it. It might happen. And in the meantime, in the translation, of course, at the end of it, we'll start eating food that is not specifically designed to kill our ass. That might be a good thing. Um, hey man, shout out to the Infowars and stuff before I get up out of here and stuff. You do, I know Bart Fine knows, but they're trying to shut it down, whatever the hell that means. And of course, it's going to be about a week into the election shenanigans, and everything's just so wild. And it's like peak climax, "Oh my god, what on earth is happening right now?" type stuff. That's how I feel. Not now, but starting the 5th, right? And even beforehand and stuff like that, I mean, it just there's we gotta get up out of here pretty soon. I wish everybody the best, but during such times, there is going to be terrible things going on. Of course, they would want to silence anybody who's willing to talk about these is going on and taking place. And of course, they would like to take my man Alex Jones, like to take him out. They like to demoralize him and stuff. But I don't think it's gonna work. But they're sure trying. And I don't know how many people out there know about it. But for example, I mean, these people stop at nothing. These people are ravenous. To me, there's no way to wrap your mind around it unless you understand and believe that there are demons out here. I straight up, it's demonology, it's Satanism that powers these people because beyond that, it's even hard to find a motivation. Oh, the money. These people are on fire. These people are on fire for Alex Jones. I think it's just more than the money. They just can't wait to snatch up an Alex Jones and do whatever they can to. Thank the Lord above that they have not successfully done the silencing of Alex Jones. But you know what's interesting? Um, Before we get up out of here, I wanted to mention, I guess, a couple of things, but uh, Alex Jones trying to get him. You know, one of the things in which ways they're trying to get him is they're trying to somehow legally, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, but they what they want to do, or maybe it's being made legal, is what they want to do is take Alex Jones's name and own his name and his face too. I think they want to own his face and his name. They want to own it, meaning if Alex Jones merely walks out his door in public, and he better not make like money, or I mean, he better not be a public figure, even though he's eternally gonna be a public figure. He better not do it because whatever money he makes, you get it because you own his name and his face. Pretty wild stuff. And it actually reminded me of something I saw the other day in which, you know, it sounds wild. Oh, you own his face. Oh, you own his name. Oh, you own Infowars. Oh, you own all of his social media. You own it. Now, it's not gonna happen probably, but they tried to have it happen, which is wild. But the other day, I was going into one of my little topics that I keep an eye on. And one thing that I definitely want to get back into because, you know, it was fascinating at the time anyways. I mean, I was enthralled in it at the time. I was totally enveloped in the whole Parkland incident, as you might call it. But I think it was 2018, the Parkland incident, February the 14th. Everybody knows. I was checking upon it in the news. I typed it in on the news tab, and sure enough, man, you know, I sure enough, these people, and I know you just totally forgot about them, and you should forget about them. They're They're not worth knowing, these people. But there's people who's involved or like they were involved or they were present during this whole incident, thereby making them like almost sort of celebrities very briefly. And so like these people are still around and some of 'em is they're still balls deep up in the shenanigans and the drama of it. For example, I was hearing this I was hearing some weird wild stuff. The other day, for example, there's some sort of settlement that they were trying to get. I'm talking about all the victims' families in the Parkland incident. And to this day, they're carrying on with all sort of court business and stuff like that. It never ends, dude. It's 2024, and you're still out here doing this. It will never ever end. This thing that y'all have built. So, but they're in court bickering, carrying on about how to split up some big lump sum of money or some stuff. Who deserves more of the money? And I haven't really been keeping track of it. I do remember these people's names or like who they were, what their story was. There's this one guy in particular. I forget his name. It doesn't really matter. Hispanic guy. He had long hair at the time, but I don't know if he still does. But he got shot up. He got shot up pretty damn good. And some people believe nobody got shot that day. Pretty sure people got shot. And well, we'll talk about it here in a second. But they were bickering, carrying on, and the young Hispanic boy, his name I forget at the moment, who got shot up. I don't know. He got shot up like 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know. He got shot up a lot. He was arguing like that he needs the most of the money or whatnot, and this and that, and that's kind of how they were bickering. But I do remember that he also wanted to own the likeness, I guess is what it's called, and the name of Nicholas Cruz. A lot of people don't remember that's the shooter, allegedly. So he wants to own Nicholas Cruz's name and face. And in this instance, you got a guy who's behind bars. I don't even know if he is aware that people are trying to buy his name. I guess he's probably made aware or something like that. That somebody's trying to buy his name and likeness. And it's like hardly anything he could do about it behind bars in jail. And so it's on the same level. Weird, wild. Why would somebody? Because that's how backwards our whole legal system is. That they're finding out reasons how and why you can own somebody's face and name. So it's seeing those shenanigans. Also, shout out to Judge Elizabeth Scherer too as well. Some of y'all remember who that is, and I don't blame you. Mm-mm-mm. I just do not blame you. I gotta say, what about 6 years later? See, for those of y'all who remember, it's kind of a wild card. I guess just so happen this kind of thing happens over in Florida, in Miami, or Broward County. But Elizabeth Share definitely was a fox. It was just unnecessary and just a weird little twist in the plot. I gotta say, 6 years later, she's still carrying herself quite well. And she was out in public. This is real recent. All right, so she's still doing her thing. And you know what's interesting? I didn't read the article really. I looked at Elizabeth and I said, good for you. Good for you. Carrying on. looking that way. All right. I didn't read the article too much, but the headline of it kind of said a lot already, and I already kind of know a little bit. I am kind of curious. Perhaps I'll read it, but I won't read it right now. The headline says Parkland shooting judge Elizabeth criticizes the shooter's attorneys during talk to law students. Okay. So some people might not remember, or maybe they didn't know who she's even talking about. But, it's almost like it was yesterday when he had Judge Elizabeth Scheer shining up there on her like pedestal or whatever. They lift her up. She's a judge. And she was trying to keep everything like sort of formal, like this is a courtroom and you act a particular kind of way. And see if we can't get to the business of courtrooming. It's even hard to explain, really, but at least one of Nicholas Cruz's, I would assume, public defender was insufferable. A damn insufferable piece of work. A frumpy little blonde lady, if y'all do recall. The blonde, I forget what her name was, but she was frumpy. Right? And she was grumpy, dude. She was both those things. And she's always popping off at the mouth, and she was always doing this and that. And Elizabeth Shear had to keep her in line from time to time. It happened definitely multiple times. I mean, they got to where they're all, you know what I'm talking about. Two ladies getting confrontational. They're getting hella like that. It was getting, you could feel it in the air. I mean, I could see it in the air. I wasn't actually breathing the air, but I could even see it in the air. The tension, the pressure. Now, real briefly, because I do want to get up out of here. I gotta get up out of here and get some good rest. All right, because we got things to be taken care of tomorrow. We gotta get good rest. Make sure we start off, the day right. All right, and get it going as good as we can. Not as good as we can. But before we get up out of here, I'll have you know, I am researching these topics and stuff from time to time. For example, you remember that lady? What's her name? Suzanne. Some people might remember Suzanne Simpson. We're keeping an eye out for that. It's not too much developments in that particular case, and in fact, they still have not found Susan. I'm sorry. It's kind of like I accidentally say Susan, but it's actually Suzanne, and I don't mean to disrespect, but haven't found Suzanne. We don't know where the hell is Suzanne at. It's no good. 80s kid already says no good. It's not gonna be good. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be good, but we're gonna listen for the development. There's different wild stuff. Like, I mean, of course, there's a lot of people missing in San Antonio, right? Some people might say, "Oh, focus on such and such missing." Hell no, man. A lot of y'all go missing. Just to be real brief, and I'm sure it's not only just in San Antonio. A lot of y'all go missing, especially like y'all little kids. Y'all little kids go missing all the damn time. And I see about it, and it's to the point where I just ignore it. I don't it's like, dude, every time I see, oh, this and that, there's a kid that's missing, I had to ignore it. Right. But good 90, 95% of the time, if not more, probably more, the kid always is just ran off because you're a piece of shit. Right? And you can't run a household and you have your kid running off. And then you gotta like fucking call the police, get it all in the news. Oh, your kid's missing. And then you find them, they ran off. Right? Typically. That's why we're not concerned about all y'all missing people. We're talking about a pretty white woman here. And Susan. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on it. I know she's not the only one missing in San Antonio. Obviously, I I bet you didn't know, and I didn't even bring it up. But did you know? And I'm not making it up. In San Antonio, just this week, or it was like last week, a 3-year-old, a 3-year-old child shot a baby with a rifle. How about that, dude? There's so much crap, dude, that I don't even mention. It's all over the place. I We can't concentrate on all of it. Although I'm gonna keep an eye on that because I really that's yes, that is what happened. How did it happen? I don't know. You probably never heard of it. Probably no one's heard of it. And I want to know. I really don't know. So real briefly, what I do know is they're in a car. See, this is all fucking mysterious. We need to get detectives on all this shit. But each detective is going to have to focus on their own cases and stuff. Everybody needs to be a detective now. Pretty sure of it. So they're in a car. They're in a medical center. They're on Merton Minter or whatever. I've been on that street. Shit, I've been on that street plenty. They're on that street in like a parking lot or a parking garage. I don't really know. I'm not to find out. 3-year-old shot a little baby, not even 1 years old, shot the baby, killed the baby in the car. Story goes, there's a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old in the car, and a little baby in the car. And being as it's San Antonio, and I bet you, kind of everywhere else, it's like, dude, the first thing I thought about in my head was, were they left in the car? Because typically they are. But then I thought about it a little bit more. And I was like, if there's somebody in the car, that's equally as fucking bad. That's still as bad. How the fuck? And they said this 3-year-old got the rifle out the trunk of the car while his 3-year-old in the trunk of the car. And you're letting the 3-year-old somehow go in the trunk of the car, play around with a rifle. I guess you didn't know was there. Shoot a baby. It's wild. But yeah, all sort of stuff happens. It's like we still got to remain focused. Got to remain focused. Now, as far as Parkland, I've said it before. This frumpy attorney was worthless. The public defender of Nicholas Cruz was beyond worthless. She not only was not, and it was her and like a couple other guys working for fucking some guy named Finkelstein or some shit. Yeah, he was hella Jewish. All right, so I'm not telling you where to go with that, but um, so the lawyers working at Finkelstein were over there being public defenders, not giving an F. They're of course not trying to prove the innocence of their defendant, Nicholas Cruz, because damn, like everybody on Earth at the time, besides people on the internet, his public defenders, if not assumed, they very much acted like there was no way in the world that Nicholas Cruz did not do every last thing he was accused of doing. The whole world believes this. Everybody's heard of this incident. It would have to probably be 99.9% of everybody who's heard this incident believes Nicholas Cruz did it, and they know for a fact, and everybody knows, and it's all sealed up. And of course, he did it. He admitted it, and all sort of weird stuff. They know he did it. They know he did it. It was wild for folks like myself and others out there on the internet who talk about it, but we can't make it our whole lives. We know good and well he didn't do it. Thing is, if he did anything, that's what's so mysterious about that day. And I'm talking about spending hours and hours and days just staring at the situation, what they said unfolded, the event, It never did take place the way they told you it did. And why would they be lying? A lot of people think the whole thing was made up. Thing is, and I've said it before, and we're gonna dive back into it just because, you're dealing with people before we get about here. And if God's on your side, then who be against you? You know what I mean? So find comfort in that, I hope. That's what I find comfort in. But you're talking about people who are damn ruthless and they'll do any sort of shenanigans. People are starting to figure that out slowly and surely. The normies, the masses of people. There's many normies out there who say, oh man, they're trying to get Donald Trump. They've been trying to kill him. Yes, they have. It's not no lone wolf bullshit that you've been told. And people get it now. We're living in wild times. People actually get it. And then every time they bring it up, they say they tried to kill Donald Trump. Yes, they did. That's for sure. And those people are not only ruthless, they've been ruthless. They've been doing shenanigans that's unbelievable. What I can guarantee, and the thing is, I think all sort of people did get shot up. I think that little Hispanic boy did get shot up. What I guarantee, and I know it for a fact, and I don't care. It doesn't matter if nobody. It's like, dude, I got the evidence, and in fact, the evidence was made public for everybody to see. But I'm here to tell you that it was completely mother effing impossible. If Nicholas Cruz had shot anybody that day, he certainly and for certainly was not the only body shooting on that day. He for sure had help. And oh, everybody, nobody knows. It's like nobody in the world knows what's clearly in front of my damn face for when I was looking at it. And we're gonna go back and look at it because this is who you're dealing with. People who are willing to do all this. All right. And people are catching up. People are catching up, but they've been doing it. And for all see, we're about to catch them up in all these false little incidents. We're about to catch them up in it. The same people who's been doing it and they've been doing it. And life is cheap. That's the thing about it. That's what I don't think a lot of people get. It's when you're living lawless, when you're in fact above the law, like these people are or have been operating, life is very cheap. It's easier to just get rid of you than it is to make some sort of clone out of you or what, or hide you away and pretend that you got killed and take you out to some island and give you some sort of surgery. They'd rather just kill children. They've been doing this. Shoot, man, that's not like a. It's not the best way to end. That's not like the best way to end. It's like I don't know what the heck else way to the end is. Trump says he wants to eliminate income tax. All right, it's okay. You know what's a better way to end? And thank God for Barfine. It's Trump's okay. So what they've been hinting at, and they're getting closer and closer, and they're inching towards it. And I do believe Barfine is exactly right. They want to get us off the income tax. They can't say it, and sometimes they murmur it. And they can't say it very loudly right now, but they're inching more and more. And in fact, Elon, when he was talking, he kind of put that implication. He was like, dude, if you do tariffs right, meaning you tax MNFers outside your country, that's right. They're going to have to do whatever. I don't care what they do. They're going to have to pay. It's going to be harder to sell because of the tariffs. They're going to take all the money from the tariffs, get more money than we're getting from these taxes and mother F taxes, dude. If you got enough tariffs, it seems, and I might just be making this too general. If you have enough tariffs, it seems you don't even have to have no income tax, period. In fact, it was always illegal shenanigans on our ass. Say, if we beef up these tariffs, these other countries going to have to deal. We wish them the best. We wish everybody the best. Go ahead and deal because, see, that's the thing about it. They've had a system where we have fake money and debt out our asses, right? We had to do income tax. Oh, they tax us not only on our income tax, but every other tax on top of that, to where is that they eventually get 50% of every fucking dollar that we ever made in our life. They're gonna get 50% of that at the end of the day because of all the different taxes. All right, they're taxing us on our ass to include on the income tax, which was illegal, and they like put us in an illegal trap a long time ago. And meanwhile, we go further in debt, so it's not working out for us. You know, it'd be better if other countries, they fucking did their own thing, and God bless them. I wish them the best. But when they ship us products, because aren't we the master consumers? Oh, we've been the consuming people have been selling America things forever and ever, making all sort of money off the shit they're selling us. So you know, I think it's a better idea that they pay off our debt. I want everybody else in the world, and I know this might sound weird. I want everybody else in the world to pay off our debt, whether you like it or not. And I don't mean that so ugly. I mean that you could honestly, in fact, y'all should be doing it too. Over in Tasmania, they should be doing it. Over in England, they should be doing it. Over in South Africa, they should be doing it. And everywhere else, they should be doing it. Where that their people are wealthy enough to buy their own shit. In fact, they make their own shit and buy it. And then the wealth just accumulates and accumulates over generations, and you have strong families, and all sort of the money just keeps accumulating and circling around, and it's all your money. You don't have to worry about some sort of debt. So Trump is saying these things. I ain't never thought I would ever hear anybody say these things, especially a candidate for the president of the United States of America. And it's wild. It's wild to know that he's getting this all in mind. It's going to be a battle, you know, and it's not like how people think with the Civil War and all this, where people just start shooting each other and stuff. That's not, it's obviously not how it works, but it's going to be a battle. It seems to me that Donald Trump, if hypothetically he was to get in, it's going to be a battle from the day he gets elected, not even the day he's president. It's going to be a battle from that day. What's more likely is that they'll cheat and cheat and cheat, get caught cheating. Donald Trump will be like, y'all are some fucking cheaters. And then all of us would be like, y'all are some motherfucking cheaters. And then we point at them and they say, you're bigots, and then throw us all in jail somehow or whatever and cause chaos. I don't know. That's what they would like to do first. But if not, then Donald Trump gets in and it's going to be a battle. Um, he's going to be trying to do all this good stuff all at once. Kind of hard to do. They're going to be sabotaging every last thing they can. Cyber attacks, water attacks, weather attacks. They're going to do all this sort of stuff. They're going to start fires all over the place. Literal fires. And it's going to be all over the place. They're going to do all this. It's going to be hard to catch all of them, and that's the kind of situation we're going to be in. And so it's going to be wild. It's going to be like you had to put in all your effort in order to perhaps make America great again. I guess this is like what's going on, I guess. In the meantime, I'm going to stream whenever. I have no idea when I'm going to stream next time. But I am going to be doing investigating behind the scenes, and I am going to be carrying on and living the good life, living the American dream. In the meantime, I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.